So my name's Sean. I live in Devon in England, and I've been on Misha's 50-week program for sports performance for 4 months now. So it's reasonably developed, and it's been a very fascinating procedure so far. I'm a keen amateur cyclist, and I'm very interested in health. I'm very interested in diet. And my wife, Julia, actually is a Buteyko breathing practitioner. So I came across Misha's work because he was, as we saw it, at the cutting edge. Because he's working with Buteyko breathing, but also looking at diet and overall lifestyle. And many Buteyko practitioners don't do that. They're very single focused. So for us, it was very interesting seeing Misha's work. And we actually interviewed Misha for our podcast, the Cycle Systems Academy podcast. And I was so interested in his work in terms of ketogenic diet, Buteyko, etc. I thought I'd sign up and give it a go. What have I got to lose, right? I'm 42, and obviously as we get older, we do start to feel the effects of that. It's not like being 22 anymore. And Misha's program attracted me because it was based in health and well-being, and also offering advantages for sports performance. Because I'm not a professional athlete, I'm not even an elite amateur athlete, I'm an enthusiast, and ultimately I don't get paid to ride my bike fast. So I was really keen to work on the well-being side, and we always like to go faster on the bike, so that was an advantage too. So I started off with ketogenic diet and the Buteyko breathing, and it was really, really interesting because, like most people engaged in sport, especially cycling, I was sold into the modern sports science way of fueling. You know, since the mid-80s, people have talked about how to fuel on carbs, on sugars, carb drinks, carb gels, carb loading, you know, protein after exercise. And it worked to a degree, although I didn't feel that comfortable with it. You're drinking these bright blue drinks, you're shoveling these chemical gels into you. And I would literally do 2 or 3 gels an hour on a big hard event. You know, when you're really racing hard on a bike, you can't eat a pie, you can't eat a cake, you know. So the gels and the carb drinks worked for me, and I was getting reasonably high performance. But it's funny because I remember saying to a clubmate on the way back from a training ride once, you know, I'm not getting any faster. I think this is it. I think this is as good as I'm going to get. And I didn't feel particularly good about that because I felt like I used to be a lot faster, I used to be a lot fitter, and there was a plateau I was hitting. So to move on to the ketogenic diet, I thought would be a challenge. You know, I'm the one, double chips, double potatoes, extra bread. And I really thought, man, this is going to be hard. But you know, when I did it, it was incredibly easy. And I think that's with the ketogenics focus on fat. That's the primary focus, right? To use fat as the fuel. And it is very satisfying, and it does make you feel satisfied for longer. Like most people, I had to adapt. It took a week or two, a bit of the keto flu, but I'm used to that kind of thing, so I knew what I was getting in for. Now, the Buteyko breathing was fascinating because as a cyclist especially, you notice when you're out of breath, you notice when you lose control of your breathing, on hills especially. So when I started doing the Buteyko, I started to feel less breathless. I started to feel like I could nose breathe even on the hardest climbs. But after a few weeks, what was fascinating is I felt stronger. As if I'd been going to the gym, as if I'd been literally doing strength work. And that, I believe, is due to the more oxygen actually getting to my blood, due to the higher CO2 levels, you know, in my lungs, as you can tell by the control pulse. So it was really fascinating, and certainly a good test for all of this work was after 2 months of the program, I did the Ride London Sportive, which is a 100-mile sportive over the London 2012 Olympic road race route. And last year I did it in 5 hours 4 minutes, and that was with no Buteyko breathing, with no mental focus. You know, that Misha works on 1-point focus, all sorts of ways which tie tie these things together. And of course, just with gels and energy drinks. And this year I thought, well, I'm going to try and do it keto. Yeah, I'm going to do it all nose breathing. And I'm going to use that samurai 1-point focus that Misha teaches to be completely focused on the moment and what I'm doing in that minute. And it'd be great to go under 5 hours. Yeah, it'd be great to go under 5 hours. And I came in on 4 hours, 46 minutes. So I was 18 minutes faster after 1 year, which is remarkable. There's no way I thought I could get anywhere near that level that quickly. And what was really interesting is I didn't eat anything during that ride. So 4 hours and 46 minutes of hard, fast riding. It wasn't a nice ride in the countryside. The final hour was, oh God, when's the pain going to stop? Yeah, and it was all very concentrated. In the first hour, because we set off in waves from the London Olympic Stadium, you might be in a peloton of 200-300 people, and you're going 25 miles an hour. You're going 40 kilometers an hour, right next to someone else's elbow, someone else's bum, and you've got to be completely focused and concentrated. So the work we've done on that 1 point of attention, single point of attention, relaxation. You know, Misha's work was fascinating because he talks about the synergy between different elements of well-being, whether it's your mental state, your breathing, your diet. And I was able to bring it together in that event, which is quite a big challenge. You know, the way I went about it, I challenged myself tremendously. So that's been a success, and it's ongoing. It doesn't turn a donkey into a racehorse, but I think I'm becoming quite a fast donkey. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying eating healthily. I think like many programs that involve dietary input, you can't just be lazy and eat junk food. So I'm already eating far more vegetables and far more whole foods through focusing on this. And that in itself is very positive. But I may well fast for the morning, eat lunch, and then by, say, 6 o'clock after work, I'm like, oh, I better eat. It's very different to this fuel crash that I tended to have when I was fueling on carbs and sugars. And also I find I'm not as reliant on caffeine, you know, for energy. It's sort of there, more slow burn. So overall, it's been a fascinating program. It continues to be very, very illustrative. It's something I've fitted into a very busy lifestyle, running a company, having a family. And I'll admit, I'm probably not Misha's A-grade student. I don't weigh my food. Yeah, I don't watch every video. I don't listen to many of the audio things. I haven't got time. We have video conferencing. I don't turn up to every one. But the amount I've been able to use it for has been transformative on a day-to-day level. I'm hoping on a long-term health level, and also for my sports performance.